Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on, everybody? This is Joseph Conlon coming to you with your Smackdown on Fox review on Friday, May 29th. I've got the date again, May 29th, 2020. I am back doing a Smackdown review for the first time, I believe, since May 1st. I have not done a Smackdown review in 3 weeks. I did the Money in the Bank predictions video, the Smackdown after the Go Home show, and then I was down the shore the week after, and last week I was just not into it that much, and I saved out for the Double or Nothing Countdown special, which wasn't bad. So I'm back tonight doing a Smackdown review. Let me see how to put this in words. How do I put this in words, folks? I didn't really think the show was good, but it wasn't bad as well. There were some good things on the show. Trust me, we'll get to those. I really liked the opening to SmackDown. I really liked that. And some of the stuff that I really didn't like Lacey Evans and Sonya Deville, a moment of bliss with the New Day, that was unnecessary. The Sasha and Alexa Bliss match, even though Sasha won. I mean, I really didn't watch the match. It was hard to. But, I mean, besides that, it wasn't a bad SmackDown. I would say it was a decent show at best tonight. So, you know what? Overall, I'm going to give it a thumbs close up. So, 75% good show. I'll say 75% good show. It was a decent show tonight. It wasn't bad. A lot to talk about. Matt Riddle is officially on SmackDown. That will be tonight's main talking point for this SmackDown review. We're really going to talk about my thoughts on Matt Riddle joining SmackDown and why he could be the change that SmackDown needs, because SmackDown desperately needs a change in the main event scene on SmackDown. So we'll talk about that. And before we talk about the SmackDown review tonight, make sure you guys go check out this week's videos here on the Big Fight Field channel. We got Monday Night Raw review to talk about. We got AEW post Double or Nothing episode. NXT. We talked about NXT. And also, we got bonus coverage on the Big Fight Field with Eddie Mullins breaking down the posse who walked out with Mike Tyson. Guys like Henry Cedejo, Rashad Evans from the UFC. So if you missed those 4 videos, go check them out now on the Big Fight Field channel. Let's talk about SmackDown tonight. SmackDown started off very chaotically. So, SmackDown started off with a huge car crash in the parking lot, in some parking lot. I don't even know where this was, but this was near some parking lot. A car was crashed. Elias got hit by the car. Elias was getting stretchered out. He was stretchered into the ambulance truck, so Elias got hurt there. Then they found an envelope in the car, and an officer read Jeff Hardy. So this was Jeff Hardy's rental car, and they found Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy was all wobbly and hurt, and we don't know what just happened, but I'm guessing he got attacked by Sheamus. And Sheamus poured alcohol on him to make Jeff Hardy smell like alcohol. And the cops and Jamie Noble and Jason Jordan was even there. Yes, Jason Jordan. You guys remember him? He was there. They all helped Jeff Hardy. The cops smelled Jeff Hardy. He's like, we're going to arrest you. We're going to take you to the police station. We're going to ask you a few questions. Jeff Hardy was refusing it. Jamie Noble was like, calm down, Jeff, calm down. It's all okay. We'll get you back. We'll put you in. He's going in. So that was the opening to SmackDown. And then we saw Adam Pearce hold a roster meeting with the guys like Lucha House Party, Corbin, Cesaro, and Nakamura, Chad Gable, Lucha House Party, if I said that already, Sheamus, Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak. Yes, Drew Gulak is back in the WWE. It's glad to see him. So Adam Pearce held a meeting, and he said Jeff Hardy is arrested and Elias was taken to a local medical facility. So we didn't know what was going to happen in the Intercontinental Championship tournament. AJ Styles was bragging. He was like, I'm getting a free pass to the semifinals, to the finals. Daniel Bryan was like, I don't want just a bye to the finals. I want to fight to get my way into the finals. So then Sheamus was like, how about I get my shot at Daniel Bryan? I get another chance against Daniel Bryan. And because I got screwed last week against Jeff Hardy, Baron Corbin was like, well, I got screwed against Elias. How about I get a shot against Daniel Bryan? Then Jey Uso got involved. Cesaro got involved. Dolph Ziggler got involved. And Adam Pearce came up with the idea that there would be a battle royal, and the winner would face Daniel Bryan in the main event of SmackDown, while AJ Styles got a free bye to the finals because, you know, AJ Styles is a cocky heel, and AJ Styles took the smart way. And the rest of the roster left. It was just Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles standing there. And AJ Styles was like, you're an idiot, because Daniel Bryan could have gotten the free pass to the finals. He's like, no, I don't want a free pass to the finals. I want to fight my way to the finals. And AJ Styles was like, I want a free pass to the finals. If my opponent's not clear, give me a free pass to the finals. So, I mean, who wouldn't take the free pass to the finals, you know? But, I mean, this was funny. The way AJ Styles said, you're an idiot for doing that. I mean, I laughed at that. That was pretty funny. And I really liked the parking lot segment with Jeff Hardy and the alcoholism. I really liked it. I thought this was a damn good opening to SmackDown. And the Battle Royal was not bad at all. We'll talk about the Battle Royal, but I really liked the segment with Jeff Hardy. And yes, there are people on social media who are complaining about this segment. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why people are complaining about this on social media. You got the people who saying WWE is way too PG. They need to get some Attitude Era stuff in there. WWE needs to be creative. They're lazy. I get it. This was not a PG segment. WWE got very creative in this. I thought this was a very creative opening to SmackDown. And yet we have people complaining on social media that they did not like this opening. I don't get what you didn't like about it. Did you not like that WWE brought Jeff Hardy's real life drug problems into storytelling? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that as well. WWE does that a lot. Like I'll do Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch for an example. They brought their relationship into a storyline last summer against Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, which I was not a big fan of whatsoever, but the match actually turned out to be pretty decent at the pay-per-view. Extreme Rules, I was there. But I mean, I think Vince McMahon asked Jeff Hardy, and Jeff Hardy cleared it. He said, yeah, sure, if it's going to help me, then yeah, we'll do it. So, again, last time, I don't really get why people did not like the opening segment. I thought this was a really good opening to SmackDown. And then we got the Battle Royal. It wasn't really that all important until like the last 5, but I thought when we got to the final 5, it was pretty good. It was Chad Gable, Cesaro, Nakamura, Sheamus, and Jey Uso. Gable actually eliminated Cesaro. Cesaro was very pissed It was Gable and Cesaro on the outside apron. Gable knocked off Cesaro. Cesaro was pissed. And Nakamura also got eliminated by Gable as well. And Cesaro snuck to the back of the ring. Gable wasn't looking. And Cesaro hoofed Gable over the ropes to the outside. And Gable was eliminated in the match. Later on, Gable would challenge Cesaro to a match later on SmackDown. Cesaro challenged Gable to a match later on SmackDown, and Gable accepted. Final two, Sheamus and Jey Uso. This was very predictable that Sheamus was going to win. Sheamus eliminates Jey Uso here, and Sheamus goes on to face Daniel Bryan in the main event of SmackDown. Not a bad battle royal. Jesus Christ, not a bad battle royal. I thought it was better than the one battle royal on Dynamite this past week. I'll give that credit, but I mean, this was very predictable that Sheamus was going to win, because it would not make sense if Jey Uso, who wasn't even in the tournament, to just eliminate Sheamus and get the match with Daniel Bryan. That would kind of make Sheamus look weak. I would have liked if Jey Uso won, but I mean, I totally understand why Sheamus won. So that was that. Those three first segments, the parking lot incident, the Adam Pearce addressing the SmackDown roster, and the Battle Royal, was probably one of the best starts to SmackDown in months. And I gotta give them credit for that. The first 30 minutes of SmackDown was awesome. It was awesome. And then we got a few segments that were not awesome. Lacey Evans versus Sonya Deville being one of them. Now, I did not watch this match. I refused to watch a Lacey Evans match. So I actually went to go get my dessert during this match. And while I was in the kitchen getting my dessert, I heard a bell ring. And I saw Lacey Evans and Sonya Deville on the outside. So this match was a double countout. Why it was a double countout, I don't know. I might have to go back and rewatch. But this makes no sense. They're building up Sonya Deville to be a legit threat in the women's division. Why is she losing? Why is she in count-out decisions against Lacey Evans, of all people? I mean, seriously, are we going to see another Sonya Deville Lacey Evans match, which I don't care about? I'm just asking, man. I get these questions in my head when I watch SmackDown. Is her feud with... I think her feud with Mandy Rose is over? Because she beat her twice, if I'm not mistaken. I read the results. I barely watched last week. I watched like maybe a match or two. But she beat Mandy Rose last week in a mixed tag. So, I mean, the feud has to be over, I think. But, I mean, it's whatever. This was kind of a lame match with a lame finish. It's really all I gotta say about this. We had a moment of piss, a moment of bliss, with Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, with the SmackDown Tag Team Champions, The New Day. Alexa Bliss gave The New Day a gift. It was Scottish pancakes. The New Day gave Alexa a gift. It was a cup of coffee. Then they were talking about tag teams that they could face. I don't know any other team besides the Forgotten Sons that the New Day could face, because there's no tag teams in the tag team division on SmackDown. So there's really no other tag teams besides the Forgotten Sons. Because, you know, The Miz and Morrison, they're doing stuff with Braun Strowman at Backlash for the Universal Championship. I'm not going to get to that tonight, but I mean, my God, that's a terrible booking move. That's a horrible match as well. Who the heck would care? Who cares about The Miz and John Morrison versus Braun Strowman for the Universal Championship at Backlash. Do you guys really think that Miz and Morrison are going to become co-Universal Champion and beat Braun Strowman at Backlash? You got a 1% chance of that happening at Backlash. But enough of that. We're getting a segment with those guys next week. Sasha Banks and Bayley came out. They said they put the women's tag team titles on the map. They were the first ever women's tag team champions. So the reasons why the women's tag team championships were in WWE, and Bayley just threw Sasha Banks into a match against Alexa Bliss, and she was in high heels, and Bayley had to give her shoes, and Sasha wrestled the match in sweatpants and shoes. No wrestling gear, I think. That's all this segment was for, was just to get a match, set up a match between Sasha and Alexa, and Sasha won the match. She won the match around 8 minutes when she rolled Alexa Bliss up for the win in a heel-like fashion, with Alexa Bliss going on the top for Twisted Bliss. Bayley distracted Bliss. Nikki Cross got involved. Bayley pushed Cross into the ring post, which Alexa Bliss fell. Sasha rolled her up, and Sasha won. This sets up a women's tag team title match between Sasha and Bayley versus Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross next week on Smackdown. And with Sasha going over tonight, that means that next week, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross are not losing those tag team titles. Who cares? Those titles should be burned. They should be burned. Cesaro versus Chad Gable. This was 5 minutes. A really short match. But I assure you, this was a good 5 minutes. Gable won after a series of roll-ups with Cesaro. Cesaro was going to attack him after the match. Gable moved, got out the ring, and I wouldn't mind seeing these guys face each other again. As a decent 5-minute match, and I wouldn't mind seeing these guys go at it again in the future. So there's really nothing much to come out of that. We saw a segment with Mandy Rose and Otis at a pool area. Otis was pouring some peach drink for himself and Mandy Rose. They toasted. Otis finished in one sip. Otis asked if she wanted to go in the water with him. She said that he was going to take a nap, and she laid there, put her sunglasses on. Then she started dreaming. It was images of Otis and Otis in the pool, Otis coming out of the pool. She would react, all lovey-dovey for Otis. Then Otis jumped into the pool. A huge water explosion came, and all the water splashed on Mandy Rose. That was pretty funny. I'll admit that was funny. And then Mandy got all shocked. She seemed a little upset, and Otis was like, "I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that." She said it's all good. She walked in front of Otis. Otis grabbed her hand, brought her into the water, and they made out. So my boy Otis is making out with Mandy Rose. I guess this was just to get Otis on the show, and Mandy as well. But, it wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. It was pretty good. My boy Otis making out with Mandy Rose, though. Keep getting him, dog. Keep getting him. We then saw Kurt Angle backstage. He talked about, it's great to be back here. on Friday Night Smackdown on Fox. I actually wrestled on Fox. I wrestled on Smackdown a few years ago, and I was on the same roster as Randy Orton and Edge, who could have the greatest wrestling match ever at Backlash. Gotta get that cheap plug-in for Randy Orton and Edge having the greatest match ever at Backlash. Huh, WWE? Gotta get that cheap plug-in, man. You know? That's really going to come to bite them in the ass. But Kurt Angle said, I'm here to introduce a new face to SmackDown who I've watched for many years now, who's very talented. I actually got to see him up close in his final match on NXT in a cage fight, and his name is Matt Riddle. So they played a vignette for Matt Riddle, and Matt Riddle is officially a member of SmackDown on Fox. This, folks, this is a big deal. Do you know why this is a big deal? Because SmackDown needs somebody desperately like Matt Riddle. They need to not bury Matt Riddle like they did to other talent such as Ricochet, Cedric Alexander, Austin Theory, Cesaro, Shinsuke Nakamura, Angel Garza, Andrade. I could name so many more, but I don't want to waste your time. Matt Riddle should be in the main event scene on SmackDown by SummerSlam, if you're asking me. If Bray Wyatt is off, he had a kid with JoJo, so that's why he's not facing Braun Strowman at Backlash. Why not have Matt Riddle take the Universal Championship off of Braun Strowman at SummerSlam? That'd be good for SmackDown. SmackDown needs fresh faces. SmackDown needs fresh faces in the main event scene desperately. They can't just have Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, and Baron Corbin as the main event scene for SmackDown with Roman Reigns gone. That's terrible. That's a terrible main event scene. They need fresh guys like Matt Riddle. Matt Riddle brings the legitimacy. Matt Riddle will bring good matches out of most of that roster. Could you imagine seeing matches like Matt Riddle versus Cesaro, Nakamura, Chad Gable, Daniel Bryan, Drew Gulak, Jeff Hardy? Matt Riddle could have great matches on SmackDown. They got to take this guy seriously. This guy, Matt Riddle, has money written all over him. This guy has money written all over him. There's no way that WWE can screw up Matt Riddle. And if they screw up Matt Riddle, man, I swear to God, they have no hope. They really have no hope for the future. They desperately need Matt Riddle on the main event scene on SmackDown. Take him serious, please. Last segment before we get out of here. Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus. Semifinals of the Intercontinental Championship Tournament. This match was okay. This match was decent. It wasn't bad. This was built around the feud between Sheamus and Jeff Hardy. Sheamus was setting up for the bro kick. Jeff Hardy then came out of the entrance ramp. No music. Hobbling like he was alcoholic. Sheamus saw him. Sheamus turned around. Daniel Bryan gave him a running knee. Daniel Bryan pinned Sheamus. And then after the match, Jeff Hardy came in and started to attack Sheamus. And Sheamus got away from him. And that was the way SmackDown went off the air. Sheamus and Jeff Hardy is basically all but confirmed for Backlash. I would not be surprised if WWE announced it on their social media page as soon as this weekend. I really would not be surprised about it at all. But it seems like we're getting Sheamus versus Jeff Hardy at Backlash, and we're getting Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles for the Intercontinental Championship 2 weeks on Smackdown. So that match should be fantastic if they let them go out and have a solid amount of time. Give them 20 minutes to open up SmackDown in 2 weeks, and they'll kill it. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Thank you for watching this SmackDown review. If you haven't already, subscribe right here on the Big Five Field channel. We're at 86 subscribers, just 14 away from 100. I'm trying to get to 100 before Backlash, but I don't think that's going to... I have my doubts. So if you guys can prove my doubts wrong, I would greatly appreciate that. Comment down below what you thought of this week's SmackDown. Overall, decent show. Not good. Not good. Not bad. I thought it was a decent show at best. That's me. Hit that like button, man. If you hit that like button, subscribe. Hit the like button with a super kick. Follow me on Twitter at Colin_Joseph and Instagram as well. And follow Eddie on Twitter at EddieMoans515. Guys, I'm getting out of here. I'll be back here Sunday with News and Rumors. Yes, it's actually not called News and Rumors anymore. I'm going to try to change things up a little bit. I feel like I go a little bit too long when talking about News and Rumors. We're going to make it Rapid Fire News. So that's the new video. It's called Rapid Fire News. I'll be back there on Sunday for your Rapid Fire News. I'm getting out of here. Stay safe, guys. Take care.